Praise the Lord to all Princess Belemzy School of Power members, to the Apostle Billy Belemzy, to God that is my number one source of energy and strength and healing. I wanted to give this testimony because I was waiting. I wanted to confirm everything was doing what it's supposed to do, and God is amazing. So I give honor to God, who is the head of my life, to Jesus, who saved me. So my testimony actually began about a month ago when I went to the hospital. And actually, I was in the hospital for about a week with kidney problems. And I also mentioned to the doctors that I had, problem using the bathroom. At that time, they kept me in the hospital. Next week, they told me I had to stay in the hospital. And I told them, no, I'm not going back to the hospital. I'm not going back to the emergency room. In fact, in defiance of the doctors, I actually went to Apostles' program in Columbus, Ohio. That was our first visit to the Columbus, Ohio location, and it was amazing. We decided we didn't have any money. We didn't have anywhere to go. We just decided, what Lord says, if you want the healing and deliverance, you need to go, and that's what we did. So we made the trip, my wife and I, and boy, we had a great time. At that event, Apostle had given a testimony of her being able to poop. Now, some of you may be laughing at this, and of course we kind of did as well, because it seems like a strange thing to talk about during the program. And the one thing I will tell you is that Apostle is real, and a lot of people don't understand this. I watch in her life. I'm a person that, your spirit, you see, you got to judge the spirit by the spirit. You got to look in the spirit of a person. You can't not just what a person says. There's a lot of preachers out there that say they worship God, they pray, they fast. But one thing about Apostle Belemzy is that she does the do. She does the deed. You can tell because she spends hours online praying and fasting. Has no shame about it. Has no shame about God. Has no shame about talking about what God is doing and what God can do. And so during that program, she mentioned that she had a good poop. And it made her feel good. And I came up, of course, for prayer and, our testimony about going to the hospital and so forth. And I just felt the unction of the Spirit, like, okay, I feel a little ashamed talking about this, but, I couldn't poop for about a year without assistance, which means I had to take different medications. I actually had a little thing in the bathroom that would help give me an enema so that I could poop. And so it was really torturous. In fact, I couldn't go out of town without taking something to help me poop because it would be so bad. Well, of course I prayed and continue to pray. But, one thing I realized is that once you put it out in the open, God can address it. And I believe by going to that event, going to that location, and if Apostle didn't say that out loud, she probably wouldn't know what to pray for or how to pray for it. And sometimes we have these hidden things that we suffer with because they stay hidden. They stay down. You're so ashamed. You don't want anybody to know you're dealing with this situation. But, God deals in healing. God deals in the power of healing. And by being able to address the demon, by being able to address the situation by name, by being able to call it out and pray for that specific situation, God can move mountains. In fact, literally, he said in the word, if you say unto the mountain, so you have to say it out your lips. So again, just saying unto the mountain, be thou removed and cast into the sea. Well, I'll tell you, for the last few weeks, I have been able to go to the bathroom with no assistance. I don't have to get up in the morning and force myself and feel like, spend hours sitting on the bathroom. I'm actually able to use the bathroom without assistance. So I want to thank God. I want to thank God for the woman of God. Again, I don't just compliment or just follow the woman of God just because of, show and tell, but because I know that she's a woman that's prayerful, can spend hours. My first, and this is just a little separate testimony. My first encounter with uh, uh, Queen Belemzy, Princess of Billy Ministries, School of Power, was actually a year or 2 years ago when she came to North Carolina, and I was playing the guitar at the church. And one of the things that surprised me was she was having these 12-hour services. 12 hours. There are people who go to church, can't take an hour of service. They're ready to go home. But this was 12 hours we spent praising and worshiping God, testimonies. So I would tell you, when I follow this woman of God, it's not just for show, but just because I can see her life. I see her living the life. I see her, from what I can tell, that everything is done with the transparency and with faith in God. So I just want to thank God for the healing that God has provided to me. Thank God for using the apostle to allow me to give this a testimony, to allow me to pray for me. And I thank God